Hi everyone, happy Saturday, good morning, good afternoon, or whatever, who cares? Time is not real. How you doing? I see pastry, I see cyber. Always the Murloc cheer, which makes me laugh. Murky. We're gonna finish, hopefully today, Haunted PS1 demo disc. And then we're gonna play Graffiti Kingdom. And I'm not gonna spend the entire stream trying to make a goober. Because we've got our team now. Okay. We're gonna play some of that game. Good please! So, yeah. Let's get into it. You probably heard the cool Windows notification sound that popped up in my pre-stream, which means that Haunted PS1 demo disc has just been updated. So I'm going to launch it. Today's intro is mostly Nier music and Drakengard, which is basically the same thing. It's not. It's entirely different, but the same universe. Kind of. It's complicated. Like, it's a good story. Anyway, here we are. I have bubble rum because it's Saturday. I watched all of the, Come on. I watched all the Resident Evil... Was it not picking up? Puppet show things today. They did 4 episodes of like a puppet show to advertise Resident Evil 8 or Village, and they were fucking great. Was it Miranda? Every time Miranda showed up, her line was basically like, "Ah!" And I fucking lost my shit every single time. I don't know why. It wasn't Miranda, it was the other one. Miranda's the big lady, right? The special... I don't know. It was, Angie. It was Angie. It's fucking Angie. It was amazing. But yeah, I lost my shit because in the third one of those, they do like this sort of machine. Is it the third or the second one? They do this machine, and then it does like a little jingle at the end, and it's a fucking reference to a kids show in Japan called Pythagora Suichi that I know pretty well. And I was like, okay. I see what you're doing here. That was very good for me. More advertisement like that, please. Just because I enjoy. It might not make me want to buy your game, which I want to get anyway, because Resident Evil, but... sure makes me want to watch the adverts. Right, I forgot to check on this drowning machine last time. I said I was going to check it to make sure it was okay, but I'm just going to assume that it is, and we're going to go straight into it. Resident Evil. We've got our own Resident Evil season coming up, by the way, because one of my extra life incentives was to do the RE2 randomizer, which is built into the N64 version. But in order to unlock it, I need to play all 4 campaigns. But the old Resident Evil 2, you can do it in like an hour and a half. So... it's like 2 streams if I do it well. Just to unlock it, so we'll see. Anyway, this is the one that has basically everything you can possibly think of, and it's based on a game that was... this guy was working on a game with his friend who died, so... it's going to get real, probably pretty real, but we're going to get into it. We'll open up with this one, and then we can cheer ourselves up afterwards. Resident Evil 2 woo. I watched I'm on that part of it's time for X-Files talk, right quick. Hey Lynchy. Oh, this looks really nice. I'm on that part. I'm in Season 8, things get weird in Season 8, and I won't ruin it for anyone who hasn't watched the show yet, but yeah, things are weird in Season 8. And there was this episode about a guy whose, like, blood is turning him into metal, and the music was really good because it was based heavily on Edvard Grieg's Piano Concerto in A minor, which was not lost on me. And I enjoyed it very much. It's a pretty good episode. What? The Drowning Machine. Alright, let's go. But yeah, it's a good bit of music that was kind of based on that. It stood out to me. Oh, Escher. Oh, mouse. Okay, Jesus. I remember that ep. Yes. That's the weird season. In a bit. They introduce a new character, and it took a couple episodes for him to grow on me, but I do like the guy. It makes an interesting dynamic. I feel it's important to warn you of exactly what you're about to see. As much as it has been incredibly painful to work on, I feel that this message is one that needs to be heard. In February of 2019, my best friend Charlie took his own life. He was a brother to me as much as he was a friend. A few months before his passing, he and I began to work on a game together, a project he loved dearly. What you're about to see is the closest I will ever come to his original vision, wrapped in my own experience mourning his loss. The Drowning Machine is a testament to his life and creativity and the real unfiltered experience of losing a loved one to suicide. I've attempted to start this project a number of times under different names and perspectives, but this has been the only way this feels right. Before he passed, he insisted that if anything bad ever happened to one of us, the other had to finish the game. Profit from the Drowning Machine will be donated to a trans lifeline in Charlie's honour. Well, there you go. 643125. What is... Oh, it's opened a page that has linked to a website where you can... What is this? Well, okay, it's a website where you can write a short note to Charlie if you knew him, or to a wanderer of your own, someone you've lost, or a letter to yourself, and it has links to sort of national suicide prevention lifelines and trans lifelines and other things. Okay, that's a neat feature. Moose. Let's go. Options. Look at this. Genius. Put an FPS cap in so people can stream this. Alright, it's about to get real. Let's have a look. It looks like there's an order in which these are supposed to be played. It says it here, 643125. I think maybe I should do that. After what I'd seen, I couldn't bear the thought of having to see you in that coffin. The makeup artist at the last funeral could barely cover the marks. The eulogy was created in 3 hours using the poem Your Actions Will Have Consequences, written by Charlie, provided before his passing. Okay, it references to real death, suicide, self-harm, suicidal ideation, and a number of other dark themes. Tread carefully if you are sensitive to these, you have been warned. I consider it an opportunity to learn things. To learn about interesting, well, not interesting, I don't know. I use that word too much. To learn about experiences that I'm unfamiliar with. Lingerie, purses, blah blah blah. Okay, I gotta get the rest of this before I read that. Tab. Got it. There's a lot of text on the bottom. I may or may not read some of it. Haven't slept in days. You'll be fine. Hide the hurt. This, I think there might be more to pick up around here. I'm gonna check around first. Ooh. It has a nice atmosphere to it. It's focusing almost entirely on silhouette, which is a pretty bold choice. It's good for something like this. Did I read that as lingerie at first and it was like lingering? Oh, okay. I guess that's a Freudian slip. I've become the victim of my own inability to read things. Oh, there's a body. Another body. Oops. When I have all of it, I will read it. It's dark down there, kiddo. It is. Oh, there it is. Estoy blinding. Oh, there's more. Chat, you have to be my other eyes in case I do completely blind on one of those. Counting on you.
Today I'm here in front of you to read words I was hoping I'd never have to write. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get through them, but for his sake I damn well have to try. These words might be rough for some, but I promised him I'd say them. Monday morning, I woke up to the news I had been praying not to hear the night before. Charlie Schultz, the brightest star in my life, had passed away. I spent several days convinced this was all a bad dream I'd wake up from with time, with a hole torn in my heart, but sadly I've had no such luck. I've spent several days trying to find a singular event, some defining moment in my friendship with him that could capture everything he meant to me, but no single experience with him could ever show you what it was like to have him in your life. No words could ever encompass the boundless creativity and artistry of the things he created. No words could ever explain the endless late nights and inside jokes and philosophical conversation, the laughter, the tears. No words could ever encompass the bottomless support and love he had for the people he cared about. Though he may not have seen it himself, Charlie was a warrior. The fears and burdens and sorrow he experienced in his life would crush even the strongest among us. Charlie held the weight of the world on his shoulders, but if you so much as frowned within a mile of him, he wouldn't hesitate for a single second to drop everything he was doing to come to your rescue. Charlie may not have known it, but he was our rock, and we did all we could to be his. But pain is incomprehensible, and his fight has ended. So in honor of his fight and the joy he brought into our lives, I ask all of you only one thing. Today let us bury the body of the daughter, granddaughter, niece, and sister who never quite was. Let us lay to rest his fears and pain and regret. Let us mourn the parts of him that never were. And let us remember and rejoice in the light of the son, grandson, brother, and friend Charlie truly was. His dry wit and boundless creativity, the good times and the bad. Let us remember the warrior, inspiration, and absolute gem of a human being that is Charlie Schultz, because a little bit of that man lives on inside each and every one of us. Rest in peace, kiddo. I'm so proud to have called you my friend.
Eulogy for Charlie. That was the eulogy, but I didn't find the rest of the poem. That's a bit unfortunate. I wonder where it was. I might have to go and try that one again. Oh. This kind of sticks here, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I think I have to just go. Alright. Just jump in again. See if I can find those pictures. Yeah, big heck. You know what's interesting to me is the idea of a eulogy is like, I'm no good at writing shit. And sometimes I think about how at some point my own parents are going to die and I'm going to have to write something. And a lot of the time I think I don't know them nearly well enough to write something. You ever think that? It's like, how do you do justice to someone at a funeral if you just don't really know that much about their lives? We're gonna have to Busco brain the rest of this poem, I think, and figure it out. The key is to speak for yourself, not the deceased. I suppose that's true. Does anyone else ever have the feeling that when you do something like that, when you speak about something, it's more like if I was to do that, like to do a eulogy and to speak about it, I would feel like I was saying the things that were expected, but not sort of being entirely connected to it. I don't know how to put it. It's like empathy, right? So imagine the idea of empathy is to understand what something else is going through and be able to kind of rationalize based around that. But do you ever think that empathy is just something that you do because, like, are you ever consciously aware of the fact that you're doing it because you're supposed to? Does that make me a sociopath? Or a functioning non-sociopath? Wow, I went down a weird road. Let's read poem. Lingering, persistent cough sounds like too long of a drag, tastes like ragged purging, feels like silent, exhaling, screaming. The angry subconscious itching whispers like a spot of rust. Screams like the snap of a flame, cries like synthetic rubber, the floating violent lightness snags like a human dessert, grips like gnashing teeth. Pulls like the 30th empty hour, and I need the rest of it. Like when you say, I feel sad because this person has died. You believe it, or are you trying to convince yourself that you believe it? It's something like being disconnected in the sense of the word that's used when you talk about depression and stuff like that, just being disconnected from everything. I think that's what that feels like. The rest of it. Pulls like the 30th empty hour. The frustrated, helpless weight sinks like sunlight through the blinds, rots like the bare minimum, hates like the dark grey at the end. Ooh. And they included a regular text mode so you can read it better, which is nice, objectively speaking. Alright, that's the eulogy. Wanderlust. During a period of grief, sometimes it's better to fight your way to the surface, trying desperately to breathe again. Sometimes it's safer just to sink beneath the waves. Break it down. One thing that I did look up, by the way, is the game that we played, the one where we're walking. Oh, sorry, walk. The game where you play as a little schoolgirl, you gotta run away from the monster. I got to that certain point, and like I couldn't figure out what to do. It's too dark to see, and I ended up getting caught, and I thought maybe that's the end of the demo. Actually, I watched a video of somebody else playing it, and there is a little bit beyond that. You kind of keep running through a corridor, but you're looking at the girl from the perspective of the monster in that point. So I think it was just so close that the shadow had overtaken the screen and I couldn't see it. But yeah, there's not much more, but it was pretty cool. I may go back to it if there's a little time. There's a QR code on this. Societal expectations regarding grief and its expression. That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, I think everyone expresses their grief and other things in different ways. I don't think it's important to be outwardly upset about something. I think that's what I was getting at, you know? I think it's like there's this societal expectation for you to be like, oh, I'm sad because this happened, but it doesn't... You don't necessarily have to be sad to be grieving. And some people do crazy things, you know, some people just become extremely productive. And that's their way of coping with things that bother them. Three whole days. He's talking a lot about the circumstances of Charlie's death. It's a performance of ritual for the society, which a lot of things in life are, but when it comes to the dead, I've got a lot of gripes with how we deal with this stuff in the West, especially. I'm a person who... I like to find my ways of enjoying things, of doing things, and sticking with them. I enjoy raising a glass to the departed. I'm not a person that is fond of the idea of grieving the passing of someone so much as I am celebrating the life of someone who's gone. when Miura went the other day, or when we found out about it, I was really upset about it, but I decided that what I would do is I would just have lots and lots of drinks and enjoy, you know, looking at Berserk panels and thinking about all the great stuff that exists because of his work. I did the same when my friends, I suppose if I don't use names I can say this, but I had a friend he had a really unfortunate time. Like, both of his parents died on the same day from cancer in different parts of the country, and he couldn't see any of them, and it was really, really awful for him. And but we sort of made it a thing to do that. We'd get like a curry in, and we'd get like drinks, and we'd have a really good time on like the anniversary of their death. Uh-oh. I think I just died. You promised. I'm sorry! I think that's how I like to deal with things like that. Celebration of life is what I would want, not the lamentation of death. Right. You only ever lost one person who was really close with, and you were only 12. Oh, that's sad. I think... I don't know, maybe I attribute this to the fact that my mother's always worked in a care home, or a home for the elderly, and I'd been there quite a lot, and I would talk to these people, and then, you know, 2 weeks later they're dead. Oh, they're gone. And I've lost so many family members to cancer and things like that, that I'm sort of jaded by it now. Like, when we have a death in the family, I'm just like, oh, well, you know, rest in peace and all that. It's like weirdly not as traumatic as it should be. I think you do get jaded to it if you see enough of it. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing either. It's not being jaded, it's being acquainted. Yeah, that's another way of saying it. That's probably a kinder way of putting it, isn't it? I suppose jaded is quite a cynical word. Yeah, anyone ever see The Haunting of Hill House? Hey, Master Martha, you come into a heavy conversation. The Haunting of Hill House is a really good moment, really, at the start of it, where one of the girls, like, somebody dies basically, and like her own sister decides to do the autopsy and the preparation of the body, and that's her way of dealing with grief in a way. That's like some dark shit. It's a good show, that. I never saw the other one they did, The Haunting of Bly Manor. But there's actually a really good episode of Hill House that is one of those sort of cinema history episodes. They do like most of it in one take. It's the funeral episode. I gotta go back and watch that again. It's really good. You want to tell yourself it's okay. Oh, I've lost the game. It's here. I found it. Industrial strength bonding tape will bond anything to anything, suitable for outdoor and wet conditions too. Where's that? Oh, woke up this morning, it had blown away from my window frame. My aircon seal is fucked up. Ow. So this is the Drowning Machine. We're currently playing the game that I put off last time because of its themes of suicide that are to deal with real people. Shit, I need to go back and get that. And what's interesting is, though I'm not sort of focusing too much on the actual dialogue right now that's coming up at the bottom of the screen, which is a lot of the inner thoughts of the developer, surviving developer, it has brought up some interesting discussions about that sort of thing, or at least about death. You need flex tape, that's right. That's a lot of damage. Here we go. Pulling my gums, baring my teeth, a fish on a hook, a deer in the headlights, being born, being used, being dead, punching the candles, kissing the flame, the ecstatic birthday boy. The compliant hospital patient, it's there, it's not, it's gone, making a mess, spitting it out, a tangle of yarn, a selfish little toddler. They come, they promise, they leave. Charlie poem. Perhaps I'm supposed to interact in this one. Double-sided tape, I see. Oh, it's a ticket. That's why there's a code on it. I'm Estoy Stupidin. Egg Stupidin, that's the one. But I'm not an egg. Egg's an egg. I'm just a dummy. Summon train. I need to go to the bathroom. I really do. How do I get in the train? Ah, yes. So far this is an interesting one, not because it's like particularly groundbreaking in any sense, but because it's... I find it more interesting that the kind of this medium of creating an indie game, creating an interactive experience, is in this case someone's method for expressing grief, but also I guess completing the work that they'd started together. It's like it's like we go back to the idea about celebrating the life of the dead. How y'all doing anyway? Pretty good. I had a Nier morning. I really wanted to listen to Nier music, so I picked a lot of Nier music for the intro. And I want to get back on Final Fantasy, and I might do that soon. Very soon. We'll see. I kept listening to this piece of music by Yoko Kanno from Escaflowne. It's a piece called Farewell. I played it a lot in my intro, but I actually looked at the score of it today, and I sort of did an analysis of it in my head. And it's a remarkable piece of music. It covers all of the stages of grief in 5 instruments in under like 3 minutes. It's pretty great. I'm gonna be right back, and then we'll continue going through the chapters of this one. I've done that thing where I have a bunch of drinks just before my stream starts, and then I immediately need to drain the lizard. Lizard! Cursor-chan, where are you? Alright, there we go. And then we'll come back and we'll do the other movements. Back in just a moment. Oh, here we are. 3. Tore out my fingernails wanting to hear your voice, telling myself that the blood made me miss that call. Free fall contains excerpts from the poem Selfish. I wonder how much the focus or theme of the game changed. It's interesting, isn't it? Because they were working on this thing together for months, apparently, and I guess it was Charlie's poems, and I'm just going to assume here, based on the inference, that Charlie is somebody who was transitioning, or trying to, or wanted to at some point. I guess there's a lot of that in it, and a lot of the poetry is probably thematically related to that idea, and then I think beyond that, the overall tone of the game, the sort of morose black and white, all of that stuff, I imagine that's the sort of thing that was probably affected the most. It might have gone from less of a sort of celebration and ended up as more of a, well, it's a eulogy, isn't it, really? But the game exists, and it's sort of there to be an expression of thoughts, and it's also trying to help other people that are going through similar situations, I believe, is the purpose of it. And its completion. These trees are upside down. Whoa! It's wobbly in here. No! You heard from Charlie? No, why? He sent me something weird. Haven't heard from him since Friday. I'm getting worried. Ah. Oh. So we're kind of exploring this neighborhood, having these thoughts about the day that's going on, and occasionally getting these texts. I see Charlie, goodbye, suicide, death, the wanderer. It was fun at first, the push of wings, the words between words, the brilliance of the light. Sunlight lingered on his lips, danced in his smile, radiated from his eyes, a heavenly gleam that seemed to blot out the endless ocean. The lilting swallow melody that covered the notes of my own swan song. had you looking for your phone. I hate when that happens. When there's like a piece of music and it has like a note in it that sounds exactly like the Discord notification or your phone going off, and you keep looking even though you know it's in the music. I take solace in knowing that every game we play today will be less depressing than this one. Next day, the baby bird was motionless, its sick and fluid splayed out across the stark white where it laid. The baby never stood a chance. I laid at an impasse. My daughter had seen the bird, saw how it yearned to live. She wanted to see it reunited with its family. I couldn't stand the thought of her cries when she discovered it, crying out for its own mother. You think if someone made a game about your passing, you'd want it to be like Katamari Damacy in tone? Me too. I'm 100% on board with that. You know what? I was thinking about playing Katamari yesterday because I just didn't really want to play anything that wasn't as fun as Katamari. You could have a Katamari game, right, and you put all the objects in the game are just stuff that you like. And then that's what people play at your funeral. Everyone gets to play it. And it's like awesome. It's an interesting thought, isn't it? Why write a paper will when you could create something far more interesting? I'm starting to really worry he usually doesn't disappear for this long. He can't be gone for real this time. I can't do this without him. James lives on the same campus. I'll ask him to go knock on Charlie's door. He left a note on our server saying we could split up his stuff when he's gone. Tell your friend to fucking hurry. Damn. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna set out a rider in my funeral, in my will. I'm gonna set out a rider. You know, like bands have. If you're not familiar with the term, when a band goes to play on a stage, they get a rider, and it's like when they say, okay, we're gonna show up, but we're gonna need like all the brown M&Ms taking out, and we're gonna need 16 crates of Malibu, and like, you know, hookers and shit, or whatever people want. Yeah, funerals should have riders, that's what I'm saying. But then it just comes out of the funeral expenses. It's cool. I was suddenly the only person on Earth. The only person in this garden of weeds, thoughtlessly, autonomously grabbing at the rose that called to me, thinking it was normal, it was beautiful when my blood fell on the petals because it was his colour, and how could that be wrong? Cupid's bow bent and slung those words into my bloodstream. I love you. When it comes to lies, the heart-shaped arrow kills just the same as the spade, and sometimes the anger consumes me. In memoriam, I laid the baby to rest in the garden. Behind the bushes. This is a big lab, out of sight. I thought I had done it a favour. Maybe the mother would finally come to care for a sickly child. Maybe it still had a chance. I tried not to think about it. Tried desperately to bury myself in my work. Anything to escape the memory of its cries. But the chirping wouldn't stop. No matter what I tore away or hid behind, the screams would never stop. A double-headed snake with no eyes, thrashing blindly, purposeless, teeth bared, because 5 years ago I was murdered, or maybe I wasn't. Is it murder if I provided the knife and let him into my home? Crystal clear, the sun's rays can sear a brand of foolishness into virgin skin, but it always happens as a warm, familiar glow. My life, it seems, is controlled by a single letter of the alphabet. Faith, fall, face, flight, fail, freeze, forget. Ultimate funeral. It's like... Racked with guilt and desperation, I took one last look. The chirping had stopped, but the wailing had only just begun. Maybe it would have been better if it had passed on long ago. I was thinking of the idea that my funeral might be, like, my actual funeral. I mean, I'm good, you know, just, like, throw me in a field or something, I'm good. I don't really care after that point, but... if I have a funeral, it should be like Ultimate Wipeout, or Takeshi's Castle. And in order to see the coffin, you have to go through the gauntlet. And then whoever makes it there gets to open it, and inside is a prize. And it makes like when you open the coffin, like party poppers go off and it goes... It'd be amazing. Joke's on you all, I uploaded my consciousness into a simulation. I'd never die. Ninja Warrior, get the fuck out too easy. Ain't nobody in my family can do Ninja Warrior. Or can you? Except my Uncle Sasuke. I'm not talking about blood family, I'm talking about my family. I don't think any of you could do Ninja Warrior, but I could be mistaken. One. Reverie! We're halfway through. Severance. You were gone long before I ever knew to start looking. I watched as your spine begin to snap. I see. This... one... What did I just click? Oh, coming soon. Got it. That one's coming soon, so this is after all a demo. That opened up the page for the drowning machine, which opens with In Memory of Charlie Schultz, and then the suicide prevention hotline number. Donations will benefit a trans lifeline in Charlie's honor, and so on and so forth. A good thing to do with your project. That's coming soon, and... okay, I think we actually played as much as there is. Well, that was the drowning machine. It's difficult to kind of talk about it in the same way that you can talk about the other ones on this, because like I've been fairly objective in talking about how they're presented. What I will say is that I really like the way the shaders are done here on the water. The choice to use silhouette to build a black and white world, to take away noise from color and texture that would otherwise distract from the actual purpose of the game, which is to focus on the writing, is a good idea. And beyond that, it's what they wanted to make. Right, anyway, we've gotten through that one. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I've done justice to the idea that maybe that game was supposed to support, but, you know, it's hard to do stuff like that. It's very personal to the person that created it. People that created it. And I'm just a stranger. I'm sure Charlie would be happy. Anyhow, we have a few games left. I think we have 4 remaining. And I'm going to start with something polar opposite. I'm going to go with Loveland. What is... wait, did I play Loveland before? Murder, kidnapping, other atrocities, all at the behest of frogs. We've played Loveland. If you remember, this was on my advent calendar, so we're probably not going to play this one. I will go in and have a quick look, just to see the game again, but yes, we've already played this over Christmas. It was actually really good. I enjoyed it a lot, but I wasn't sure where to go, and I think we kind of got stuck, but I think that's because the demo ended in a very strange place. Make some eggs real quick, as you do. Yes, this is the one. It looks really great. The dithering effect is quite nice here. And the game is basically you're wandering through this trailer park. There's frogs, you can kill them if you want. There's a series of trailers and you have to kind of sort of go through them systematically, finding clues that allows you to access the other trailers. And there's like items. Let's see what else is there. Turn off sink. Do that. Toggle burner. You can get this. There's like items that you can pick up. Right, I've got lemon juice. There's a recipe. Vinegar, lemon juice, boil. Okay, I need some vinegar, which is like wine. Oh, there's vinegar. Okay, so let's go vinegar, lemon juice, boil. Spray bottle. Fill spray bottle. And now I have a weapon against the frogs. I don't recall this spray. I think the spray was a thing, but I don't know what I did with it. Maybe I lost it, but... What happened to the power? I'm trying to remember... There's a generator somewhere, right? But there's a boat. Clever use of a pontoon boat, yes. Journal. Hatching day. Oh, a person. That's new. Those eggs, they appear to be hatched. I think when we played it before, there was no like people, it was more just wandering through the trailers and getting through it. Spray scene's a bit redundant seeing as you can squish the frogs. I'm sure it will have a purpose later that is beyond that of standard frog. Oh, they opened the door for me after they smashed the place up. Yeah, this is different. This is very different from how it was before. Leave or die. Gotcha. Yeah, maybe enough has changed to want another look. I think so. It's the same... It's like we've been thrown into the same area, but the game is like different. The progression is different. Alright. They came from the water with their gift to bring unto his eternal bliss. Just a drink, embrace warmth, fade away. Let him in, you'll be one, you'll carry his kin. So there seems to be some kind of frog monster who's laying its eggs on people. That's what I'm speculating. Some kind of frog monster's laying its eggs on people. Mother, that's ridiculous. That's all I'm hearing in my head now. Whenever I think of things like this, I just get... That's ridiculous. Frog people? Frog people don't exist. You just sat down and Scully's popping off. I can't help it. She's always there now, in my head, telling me that I'm stupid. That my ideas are wrong. They couldn't possibly be true because there's no scientific evidence. Ignoring the fact that the key to good science is to remain open-minded to the possibility that your hypotheses can be challenged. Honestly, Scully. Hi, Fem. I don't want frog eggs on me. I don't think anyone wants frog eggs on them. Pick up the crickets. Well, someone does. There's a lot of weird people out there. And I mean weird in an endearing way when I say it. But there's a lot of weird people out there. Pick up the crickets and mealworms for the feed store. Feed the children. 2. Change up... Okay. Science and God are real, you moron. Scully, won't you open your mind to the possibility that your science could be challenged and that new ideas could permeate new hypotheses that you could use to build new science? No, Mother, that's not how it works. It's just about what it says in the book. Aliens. Listen, I believe in Snailian. And alien honey. Those two things, they exist. Bleep. You see that shit? By the way, there was yet another sort of UFO thing. It was like footage from a government vessel, and they've sort of seen this unidentified flying object that then dips into the ocean, and they don't know what it is. I swear I just saw something big move. I keep seeing things move in the corner of my eye. It's not just me, right? Anyway, the government, yeah, they saw this thing and they've said, yeah, we acknowledge this is real footage and we don't know what it is. And it's like, how the fuck, with a like $200 billion gunships, do you still have worse cameras than GoPros? Like, what's going on here? What can you just... I could have filmed that on my fucking phone and it would have looked better. Smells like a swamp. I thought it smelled light when you stepped to the door a few minutes ago. Same. The irony is delicious. It is! I forget if she was super honking religious. Okay, so Scully's thing is she was raised, you say Catholic Maelstrom? I think so. I don't know the exact Christianity religion, that subset that she belongs to. Subcult. Call it. I found this massive toad when I was out fishing by the lake. I ain't never seen its kind before. It let out a squeal once I got a hold on it and started oozing this snot. This moment it got in my hand, though. Whoo! I was over the damn moon. But then I felt someone calling out to me. He had so much to tell me, but I couldn't quite hear him. I need to know more. So I need another one of them frogs. Sorry, I got distracted by that. Hooey! Yeah, Scully, I don't know what her like actual Catholic blah, 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 Christian affiliation is, but there's a point several seasons in where she's like, oh, I haven't been true to the faith and I need to, ooh, moonshine, go back and be religious again. And she definitely believes in God and all that stuff, to the effect that when Mulder starts to suggest that the idea that she might... So there's episodes where she's like a vessel for the Lord, Like, this is genuine canon. She's basically used as a medium for God to fight the devil through. And when Mulder starts questioning that, she gets really offended by it. In fact, she has a line that specifically is, "I'm trying not to be offended." And he's not, like, saying this stuff to say, God doesn't exist, don't be stupid. He's saying this stuff to challenge her idea that she might be wrong, in the same way that she would challenge any of Mulder's ideas. So I would say that Scully's a middlingly devout Christian, to answer that question. He's avoiding the word sect. What's the difference between sect and cult? And I'm asking a genuine question here. If you look that up in the dictionary, is there a difference? So... Oh, then again, there's no real difference between religions and cults. Religions are just big cults. Popular cults. But it's all about how you frame the word cult. If you're a religious person, you don't want to use the word cult because it has negative connotations, but it only has negative connotations because that's what, you hear about other things described as cults that you don't like. So I'm not here to question anyone's faith. You find something that helps you get through all this, the mystery of existence, the profundity of the unanswerable question. You find something that helps you get through it, more power to you. I'm happy for you. I'm just talking semantics. Loveland. It's flat. Plug. I'm trying not to be offended by a questioning of my faith, but also everything you believe in is stupid and fake, Mulder. Jeez. Exactamundo. A group of people with somewhat different religious beliefs, typically regarded as heretical from those by a larger group to which they belong. Subcult. I'm with you until you get people who start questioning my lack of faith. I don't like having people's faiths forced on me. I appreciate the effort, but I don't want that. And I also don't like people taking things out of context and then using it as an excuse to fire Hamas missiles at people. That's also stupid. Don't do that. Stop it. Every religion on this planet has the same fundamental teaching, which is don't be a dick to other people. And if you're doing that, if you're being a dick to other people, you're doing your religion wrong. I don't care what religion it is. These fragments that I've been finding, these are new to this version of Loveland. Can I get in there? There's a mummy in there. Is that Brendan Fraser? Can I... Imhotep. More food for the master. More food for me. I'm the hungry one. This recent hatching day has been rather bountiful. Unlike the landlord's wife, this host's flesh was much more fertile. Is that a... You know what, never mind. Allowing both healthier and larger yield of children. As such, we must increase our efforts to produce more feed for them. Due to their larger size, spiders seem to provide the best nourishment. This has proved advantageous, as the spiders have proven rather effective at removing those who don't wish to follow the Master's doctrine. Why they'd ever decide to betray him is beyond me. Well, I have a series of... Oh shit, there's a thing. Find another missing person, open the gate. Using bodies as egg warmers. Yes. Egg warmers. Is that like leg warmers? Oh shit. Frog medallion! We couldn't get beyond this gate in the previous demo. Leg! What was your thing? Leg? Murph? Well, it's MGM, wasn't it? Meg? Game... I forget. Okay, so that was a slightly different version of the Loveland demo. I kind of rushed through it, didn't give it the attention it deserved because we've already played it, but it was pretty cool. Like to see where it goes. Summer 2021, Loveland. Leg Murphy, etc. Oh, baby. 3 more. I'm gonna leave Lisu. The lunar effect. It takes its protagonist on a dark and unfamiliar path. Awakening in a strange mansion, he must discover the fate of its inhabitants and find a way out. Code kit and negative entities. Content warning, everyone. Blood. Oh, but is there an option to turn it off? We'll never be able to release this in China. I'm gonna pour some pirate blood right now. You know, I think it was an accident, but I signed up to be a blood donor. And I say it's an accident. I'm not against giving blood in any way, shape or form. I'm just against giving my blood because I'm fully aware of the fact that my blood has about 3 times the safe alcohol content that it's supposed to have. So I don't really want anyone else to have it because it's probably not going to help them in the long run. An accident how? I signed up on to a new surgery and I think there was a tick box and I can't remember if I said yes or no. Because I would have thought all of that stuff that I just said and said no, but maybe I just went, no, that's stupid and ticked yes anyway. I don't really know how I thought in the past. I don't even know what my blood type is, come to think of it. If I was O negative, I'd be like, shit, okay, or like B negative, anything like that that's super rare and useful. Yeah, take it every day, every week. I'll enjoy the high, I think. Oh, I feel dizzy, like all of my useful nutrients have been removed from my body. Lynchy's O negative, I remember. Don't be negative. If my blood type is Super Pop Love Hurricane, I'll understand why this curse has been following me around. Super Pop Blood Hurricane. Sounds like a cool move. Yeah, find out. It's worth doing. If you can give blood, it's worth doing. Because you'll save someone's life in the long run. Sooner or later. This is a nice title screen. It is. It looks like the Addams Family's house, and it's giving me vibes of that other one we played. Was it Pathogen X? No, it wasn't Pathogen X. It was the other one that was based in Wales that had a really nice, crisp HD look, but it was still using the kind of dithering and the low-res textures. This has got that similar vibe. I really like the vertex shader that's hitting the trees there. The clouds look great. Is this a controller game? It is. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. Little controller buttons. Sounds are nice. Okay, very well presented right now. You haven't had tattoos in a while. Does that stop you giving blood then because of the ink? Because that's interesting. I was thinking now might be a really good time for me to finally get that mark of the curse tattoo from Berserk that I always wanted. This is one of the few games in this collection that's actually been built for controllers. Wow, this is really nice looking. Ah, my head.
What happened?
I'll do my best chicken in a bag, Leon.
Where the hell am I? What is this place?
It just sounds like Cal when I do it.
We're gonna find the chicken in your bag.
I can't do it because... Oh, it's tank controls. Okay. Because I just think of how it sounds when Pastry does it, and it's just like, how can you compare with that?
There's nothing but ash in this fireplace. Wait, there's a cup of the drawing on the bottom.
Emily Weatherford. No, I'm gonna ruin this person's game that they've spent so much time and effort presenting so nicely to me if I just goober it. So I'm not gonna goober it. I'll be nice. You had plans to get tattoos, but you can't be bothered to book, pay, or go through the process. So, my friend BU, she showed me her new tattoo. She got an Umbreon on her back, and it was incredibly cheap for what it is. And she was telling me that the guy just, like, he'd been doing tattoos for years, and he just wanted to do stuff he wanted to do now. And he's, like, really into, like, anime and mecha and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, when I get my tattoos done, I'm just going to ask for that guy, because it sounds like he'd want to do the stuff that I want. Can't decide what I want as a tattoo, so I don't bother. Baron Garden emblem. Yeah! Too anxious to get something permanent. I understand that feel. I've wanted Xenosaga tattoos for, like, over a decade. I just wanted to, like... I'm conscious of the fact that I'm not, like, ripped or anything, right? My arms have got some flab on them, and what I don't want is to, like, one day lose a bunch of weight and then have, like, a weird squished up tattoo. Is that the guy that did Alex, Maelstrom? Because her tattoos were fucking awesome. Yeah, I always wondered who did those. Heavenly Father, I beseech you, I've run out of options and do not know how to go on. A man's home is meant to be their castle, but the subjects I am surrounded by are blind to the truths I hold. I fear they are but vessels of unrequited comfort. It plagues and twists my every thought, simply a taste of what I knew would quench my unyielding thirst. Please, Father, what do I do? Where do I go next? If you will not guide me and answer my prayers, I know who will. Mum? Mum! Combination lock on the grandfather clock. If I know the combination, I might just be able to unlock it. Is it? Oh, it's not every letter. It's not piss. Okay. Get something significant to you but is more of a concept, like a logo or symbols. Yeah. Names are a bad idea. I think that's a terrible idea. Nothing permanent there. But for me, it's like the Zohar from Xenosaga. That I like, that kind of monolithic iconography, celestial geometry, the tech lines that you get on Jehuti, which is like a subtle reference, the sign of the curse from Berserk, which is actually quite similar to Carol runes because they're also based on Berserk. These drawers are filthy. Looks like they haven't been cleaned in a month. Someone left a note. I thank you for looking after the girls during my illness. If it is something that I truly appreciate, and I am thankful for your patience. Emily specifically told me to ask if you could read the the bunny story for her again. I also asked, in the nicest way possible, if you could not encourage my husband in his research. I know it is a hard thing to do, but I worry for him. His health is getting worse, and I fear what may come of him if we do not intervene. Mary Weatherford. P.S. Jack's mobile above his crib has been creaking and waking him up in the night. Could you see to that? There's a good lad. Who am I? Who am I? I love the presentation. I don't recognise any of these, though one seems to stand out.
Look well beyond the clear marked way. Once off the path you roam, steps carry you to lands astray. Trudge on, you'll ne'er see home.
Who am I? Bigleys. I don't know how to say that. Bigleys. They're bony. I cannot mouse out of the window, so I'm sorry if I missed some chat. I'm looking at Valknut and the homunculus symbol in FMA. Yes. They're both big enough. So one of the other ones that I wanted was actually the Helsing circle of protection. I guess what it is the one that's on the back of Alucard's gloves. For a similar reason. I want a Section 9 tattoo. That has a place. My right upper arm, that's where that's going. But another thing I wanted was a barcode that reads 2501. And I definitely would like... So the Berserk one was tough because I was thinking about it and I wanted it sort of where Guts' is, which is on the back of his neck, but I also... that space is reserved for Ghost in the Shell stuff. They have a sort of connector on full prosthetics on the back of the neck that Kusanagi has. And I wanted that. I don't need another pencil. Am I trapped in this room until I do stuff? Oh, menu! Okay. Look! Look at this little text document icon! Yo! Okay. Type B pencil. Settings. Okay. I don't know why I got really excited about this menu. It's just really nice. What the fuck is the buttons? Pixelation slider. Interesting. So that must be how they're doing the visuals. They're taking mid-res stuff and then pixelating it additionally. Right, okay, let me put my brain in the game. I'm looking for a passcode for this thing that's probably hidden in a book. I've just been thinking about cool, fun stuff. It's a nice pixel font. It is. It's a very nice pixel font. Recognize it from another game? I think... I'm pretty sure it's on my chat fontificator somewhere. It is a more high-res font. It's more like Alone in the Dark, something like that. Serious question, is UK allowed in Eurovision anymore, or is that part of the leave? It doesn't matter if we are or not, because we never get any points, because we're not affiliated with Russia. In the same way. Emily Weatherford. Mary Weatherford. Jack's mobile has been creaking. Beagles the bunny. Lost. It looks like someone taped a key to the pendulum of the clock. You pick to the bedroom key and put it in your inventory. It looks as if there is a note attached to this key. It was the first letter of each line in that poem, chat. Finally you return to the foot of your monster. As all humans do, your fellow man bound you to the service of the ticking clock. A cruel god you have submitted to willingly. I am not as cold as mortal man. I would show you mercy. I will shine a light that you may watch each grain of sand slip through your fingers, that you may know how few remain. Should you run out of sand, out of moments, you will know exquisite, inconceivable suffering. Few mortals can act with such prescience. Regard this as the blessing I intend it to be. This door seems to be locked. Well, why don't we use Resident Evil? I don't need this anymore. Threw away the bedroom key. Oh, he's got Resident Evil 2 fucking foresight. You don't need this key anymore. No, there couldn't possibly be another lock on the planet that uses this key. I'll just throw this away. I don't need it. Nothing here but random knickknacks. God, I can't believe I said knickknacks out loud. Oh, it's a good word. Real fake Leon. I love knickknacks. Oh, knickknacks are my favorite candy. Oh, baby. Oh, wow. Look at this wallpaper. This basin is lined with dust and grime. The taps don't even work. When was the last time this was used?
Rusty taps! Bang, bang, bang!
One of those old-fashioned tall toilets. God, I hope I never have to use it. The one time I remember to use a sound effect, I have the perfect one for a very specific situation. To blend with grime! Disgusting! I'm into it. Rusty taps! Hello. Book. Someone left some research notes on the table. Oh shit, is this a time demo? It is. Looks like they left them in a hurry. Twilight's first break and no sign of the pale beast. I would have expected by such an hour I would at least get but a glimpse upon her, but alas, no such luck. Perhaps I am testing my luck. I shall return to a more appropriate hour. Still no luck. Mary calls to me to stop my incessant research. She doesn't understand what I am on the verge of discovering. She will learn to appreciate the sacrifices I have made, but it is not my responsibility to open her eyes just yet. Hours I have spent staring into the great yonder, but she shows no sign of revealing herself. I know it was an anomaly, but I can't let them be right. I can't let them all be right. Yeah, a lot of text. Looks like some kind of occult book talking about secret languages and those who use them. It looks as if there is the loose people codex guide. What are we doing now? We're doing a we got I don't know, investigating a thing. Doot. Whoever lived here was less quite the reader. In a well-presented and wonderful game that's very much the love child of Resident Evil 2 and Silent Hill 2. Maybe I can figure out what this means if I decipher it. It's no use, I just can't make sense of it. I must be missing something. BMX. Okay. And We did watch, I mentioned the Mummy. Is this a time demo? I think it is. There's a bit of finesse to spreading out text, not having too much all clustered together. Yeah, However, it depends what kind of game it is, doesn't it? Like, if that's how this game wants to do it all the way through, I think it's okay. That's just the style of gameplay that they've gone for. It's very heavily text-based puzzle solving. But, yeah, time demo. I'm like, oh, hope you can read fast. Lock is broken. So, I was going to say, we watched The Mummy and The Mummy Returns in the Metro last week, and it was great. I had a wonderful time. And I'm trying to think of what I watched this week, and I never got around to my midnight watching of The Big Lebowski, so that's on the cards. But also, I really want to watch that film Knives Out. Apparently that's really good, and I saw it advertised a lot because we had this sort of advertisement reel of the current stuff in the studio we used to throw on the TV in the food room, and I saw that trailer a lot and I never saw the film, but apparently it was pretty good, so thinking about it for on the morrow. It looks like the kid is used to live here. A kid is used to live here. Not what I expected out of a place like this. Kid wanted a tea party, they even had seats spare. This little skeleton seems out of place. Probably some nerdy mascot, might as well take it with me. You picked up the strange doll and put it in your inventory. There's Skelly. You to do your FF14 cutscene thing. It is a stream bonanza, it's unfortunate, but when you watch that, I'd be totally up for seeing those again because it's been a while since I saw I guess you're on patch 3.0, or coming up to it. Pink kid's bed by the looks of it, I hope they're okay. Looks like a doll's house. That's odd. It's modelled after this house. Wait, it looks like there's something behind the little front door. You picked up the key part. Ah. End of 255, yes. That's the one leading into Heavenswood. Oh shit, yeah, that's the cutscene. I just remember what it is. I gotta see that again. That was when we saw that and we had to wait for Heavenswood. That was like, come on. You can't do that to us. That was like one of those things where you understand when like okay, so Game of Thrones was a big thing at the time and people would be watching that and they'd be like, oh, this thing happened at the end of the season, now we have to wait for the whole next season, and I was like, oh, I'm not really watching that show so I don't get it, but that made me get it. Then again, Stranger Things has done that to us. More than once. You got an idea, but it does mean waiting an extra day, as in tomorrow. Shoot! I hope this kid's got out okay. I could make it the metro for tomorrow. It is like 2 hours long. It's up to Cyber because it's his cutscene at this point. Seems like there are shapes standing on the wall. I wonder what did this. That looks like the light of the moon. When are people's streams today? I think it's pretty much consistent after this, isn't it? Because we got Pastry and then we got Maelstrom. I mean, I'd be down tomorrow. You could even start it slightly earlier if you wanted, so I could also possibly watch a film as well. It's up to you. I'm down. We can use the metro for whatever. If you want to watch the cutscenes in there, I would love it. Because it's a really good one. It's like... It was the point at which, after everything that we'd been playing, and after... So we'd played the game, right? And we'd really enjoyed everything that came with it. And then the patch content started to come out, and we were like, oh, this is really interesting and unique. You know, we've got like extra story and stuff from our game, and we're getting all this really cool stuff. And then that came out, and they dropped 2 hours worth of cutscenes on us that made us like, what the fuck? And then they did an expansion, and that set the groundwork for every expansion that has come before it, and cemented that game in the annals of history for me. That's the big one. Where the fuck am I going? Downstairs. Seems as if the stairs are busted. There's no way I'm going to risk jumping. It looks like it might collapse any minute. Guess I'll have to find another way down then. Okay. I knew this was Goya. We have to find a way down, but I feel like I'm a little lost. And I have the thing that lets me... I have half of a key, and I have the thing that lets me decipher letters. I need to focus just for a little while. Thanks for the follow, Vector Sigma. Sorry I didn't notice. That was 34 minutes ago. I really need to set those alerts up for myself. Ominous. I don't need another pencil. Feel like I did everything in this room? I actually wish that I didn't have tank controls on this one, even though it's fixed camera angles. It feels really, really stiff. Choice should be there. I agree. The choice should be there. And this is a good use case for tank controls, but there's something about 3Cs, right? There's a very... It's hard to say black and white. We always say tank controls should be there if you've got fixed camera angles, and if you don't have fixed camera angles, you should definitely not have tank controls. And it's easy to say that in black and white as a general rule, but then in this case... We have sort of fixed camera angles, but I still don't feel like the tank controls are right for it, and I don't know why. I guess it's something to do with the perspective, with how zoomed out we are. This is one of those edge cases, and you'll get edge cases in games. That's just how that thing works. You can't say for black and white for sure that every rule works every time. This is one of those times. I genuinely feel like this would have worked better with... I don't know, maybe it just needs more responsive turning. I think the turning is way too slow. A free camera angle still poses problems because if you turn that on, you end up with a situation where you're running in one direction, then the camera changes, then you don't know where to push your stick. It's difficult. It just needs tweaking. It needs fine-tuning a little bit. We need to turn faster. If you're going to have your camera out this far, we need to turn faster. Especially if you're going to have tons of stuff that's all over the room that you have to interact with. I think that's really the crux of it. It's just the speed. Way too slow. Yeah, I've been looking for a quick turn button and I don't know. Can't find it. And I've broken the game. Okay. I think I was holding... I might have been holding a shoulder button or B. Sorry, B. A, B, X, Y, X. I'm using an 8-bit though, so let's say Xbox controls. I was holding A at the same time that I pressed X, and I got stuck in this function, so... yeah, there's a bug for you. That's a shame. I do love the presentation of this one. I just wish I knew what I was doing. I'm wondering if that time demo was just like it locks you in that location. Let's have another quick run through. Because I am enjoying it. I do like it. By the way, Endwalker, I must be reminded, but I'm going to pre-order Endwalker on Friday next week. And there is an extremely good chance, if there's any in stock, that when I pre-order Endwalker, I will also order that Y'shtola figure that they did, the PlayArts one. Because I really want that. That's a real nice figure. It is. It's a real nice figure. Inventory back interact. Okay. 8-bit Do Pro 2, yeah, that they released just after I bought an 8-bit Do. Of course! I'm good with mine until it stops working. Are you getting physical? No, I don't buy physical. I'll just pre-order the codes from the Squex store, usually. But I'm also expecting this expansion to come with another... I think there'll be another encyclopedia soon. And it's imperative that I get that. Y'shtola became a favourite character during the course of the expansions. I'm really happy that Y'shtola went from strength to strength. So because I started in Limsa Lominsa, she was a part of my story really early on. And she's had some really good moments that I've appreciated a lot. I think out of all the Scions, Y'shtola is probably my favourite. Although they all have merits, like Thancred started off as a bit of a lad, but he's had some really great moments, especially in more recent content. Yes, the starting job dictates where you start, that's correct. So, I picked Summoner, which meant I started in Lominsi, home. You know what this reminds me of? When you would have like a game back in the day that has copy protection, and it would be like, turn to page 8 of the manual and get the special code for the recipe for making... In Day of the Tentacle, it was the recipe for making the blueprints for like a device, and they were written on the corner of each page, and it'd be like page 47, you'd have to put that in. Okay, the time starts ticking as soon as you open the clock. So I have the 4 documents from this room and the key and the pencil. Throw the key away, don't need it. Broken lock. Yes, the temptation for the figure is extremely large, and while they are expensive, the quality is extraordinary. I think it's one of those things I just kind of really want. Hi back. Hello, welcome back. Right, I've got the Codex guide. So here's the thing. Typewrite it with a paragraph that has some strange symbol. Maybe I can figure out what this means if I decipher it. I can't make sense of it. I must be missing something. Well, maybe the Codex guide is what we're missing, is what I was thinking, but... it hasn't let me... really do anything with it. If you want to do a metro tomorrow, what time would you start? Could the cutscenes before that? I mean, I usually start them at 12, but I don't know, I'm not beholden to that time. I can go earlier. I only start them at 12 to give people a chance to wake up, because I wake up at stupid o'clock in the morning. You'll need an hour and a half at least, yeah. I think that's a good shout. I mean, you could start them at 11, I'd be happy with that, if you want to do that. That's biscuit time, of course. Whatever's good for you, my friend, and other people, put out a call out in the community events channel. Just say you're doing it in the Metro. In fact, you don't even have to do those in the Metro, because they're just game cutscenes. But if you want to do it in the Metro, go ahead and pick your time. We'll be there. I already been in here. I already been up here. I didn't get the key, did I? Because the key wasn't in here, the key is in the haunted house looking building. As the catcher fucked up, we got a picture on screen. Never mind. Really? Wait a minute. I have 2 versions of the game open, both of which are being controlled by the inputs at the same time. And the one that's being captured is the one that opened second. This is the one I've been playing. So you've been seeing different things. I was trapped in that room the whole time, the first room, because I've been running around on this character. And it's just looked like I've been running around doing nothing. So, yeah, sorry guys, I'm not like just running around doing nothing. Like, I hate that shit. I have actually been playing the game. There you go, like, I'll come back. See, now I'm in this room, and I did this. Yeah, no, that's it. Like, so I watch a lot of Joel, Vinesauce Joel, and he does this thing where he just runs around in circles when he's thinking about a conversation. And sometimes it bugs me, and that's what I looked like I was doing. But no, I was genuinely playing the game, and I was capturing a second window, apparently, that was using my controller inputs. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, well, not my fault. I mean, I Alt F4'd the game and then I reopened it, and apparently it opened 2 copies. So, what do I know? Pre-ordering Endwalker gets you the... like the level 80 version of the Aetheryte earring. Lock in 11 biscuit time, sounds good. Spotted after this house. It looks like there's something behind the little front door. Got it. Looks like this might be a broken part of a key. I might be able to fix it. Okay, so it does have the, like, examine stuff that RE2 Remake has. Does the item last forever as long as you have under 80 classes? Yeah, it's just a... So, the Aetheryte earring, which I'm guessing this is the 80 equivalent of, was an accessory that they gave you for Shadow... they gave it you for Shadowbringers? Or for... Did they give it you for Shadowbringers, or did they give it you for Stormblood? I think it was Stormblood. It gave you... Yeah, it gave you an earring that scaled with your character. You could wear it at any level, so it was the best accessory that you had up until that level, basically. If you start a new character and you're not wearing that earring, you're doing it wrong. So it increased your XP gain by 30% as long as you were beneath that level, and it also gave you really good stats. The brand new ring for 50, yeah, that's good. If you can get the Aetheryte earring, it's even better. But you can have both on. It's a good impetus to kind of get it, especially if you're interested in Endwalker and you don't have a character at that level yet, but really it serves its purpose better for alt classes, because most people are going to get to 80 before that game comes out anyway. Like, the story will give you enough XP. Yeah, Maelstrom is saying the same thing. You'll massively outlevel the story quests. Didn't Pastry get to, like, the max level way before the story quests were done? I'm gonna pre-order it anyway, just because I want it on day one, and they haven't let me down yet. Being a healer is easy street. In terms of getting actual fucking dungeon parties, it is. Bucks and a teddy. Well, I know it did this. The moon did this. When it hits your eye like a big pizza pie, it's a Mori. The question is, what does it mean for me? Something about the mobile being broken. There we go. Whoops. There we go. There's something written on the walls, some strange symbols and letters, it appears. I need to get closer to get a better look if I want to write it down with my pencil. They almost look like it's written in embers. I should use a pencil to write this down. I'll note this on the codex I found. It might get me out of this wretched place. Cheeto. That. Gamma. What the hell was that sound? Interesting mix of Japanese and Greek characters from that language. Why would someone want to do this? Keep the zombies in?
Zombies. Hey, I heard you like zombies.
Right, I gotta go back to that place for the typewriter for the codex so that I can get a key part and get through that door. What the hell is that? Blood?
Kiki, you blood?
Okay. What happened in here? "13 ghosts." Somebody wrote something on the floor with blood. More symbols and letters. Finish the codex. Sweet. What's this one? No, that's where we started. It was... Was it this one? Yes. Cycle, yes. The... Oh, really? Ah, okay, there we go. The wheel turns, the stores collapse, and fire burns, and from the flame, from the fire, stark sublime, that sharpest blade that we call time. Alright, looks like I figured out the passage now. What in God's name was that? Alright, here goes nothing. It's a bugger. Ethan. Oh, it's a key. Servant's key. There's a locked door I can use this on. It's further down the corridor, but I'm going to check these anyway since I'm here. Broken. Won't budge. Okay, yes. Got flashbacks to Silent Hill Walker. I really like this. I feel like I'm playing like a finished thing, even though I know it's just a demo. What do we got? Old clothes inside. There's some text. I wonder what they were reading. Actually, on second thought, I don't care. Wow, okay. It's a good way to get around as having to read again, I guess. A near picture of a hollow-eyed man. Something about this gives me the creeps. There seems to be ripped-out pages of a diary in this trunk. Might as well have a peek. I'm sorry. I know each stroke is like a permanent tattoo upon your being. I truly am sorry. If I speak, they might hear, and I must mark you in order to feel your presence. I see your invisible hands at work. I read the signs and see the moments. I continue to help guide your will and what you want, but the wife, she worries, she suspects, she fights against your hunger. What do you want me to do about it? Do you wish to consume? Yes, I know it's like before, but you can't be a picky eater. Give me a sign, a creak, a tap at the window, and I will take as your word. Thank you. Christ, this is the ramblings of a madman. They left what looks like part of a key in here. Swish. Just tape it together, that's fine. That's how that works. Storage key. This is one of those old dumbwaiters. It doesn't have any power. There must be a way to get this working. Okay. I've always had a needy ass on my laptop and fuck my keyboard and reset it. Oh no. Cats be like that. There's a fuse box. Classic. Done. I just had the dumbwaiter turn on the other room. I should check it out. That's right. We've got a flashlight now. What the hell is that? Yeet! Bye, loser. To be continued. That was awesome. That was really fucking cool. Nice job. "21 minutes. 0 pencils broken. That was a possibility. Codex completion complete. Scully's wish unfulfilled." The Scully doll that we got, he had a wish. I don't know what his wish was, but there's like a secret hidden in this gun. Well, I recommend going and trying it yourself if you want to figure out what that secret is. That's all I'm gonna say. That was really fucking cool. I enjoyed it. Scully's wish. My wish is for you to stop acting like weird jittery shadow men exist, you fucking moron. That's a fun one. Yeah, this one was great. I look forward to the full game. Alright. What do we got? There's like 2 more games left. We've kind of hit the 2-hour mark, and I wanted this to be the split where I go into the other game, Graffiti Kingdom, but there's only 2 of these left, so I'm just going to kind of go through them. Risu I'm leaving for last, and Lauren's Lure is the next one. An android is led through a vast structure by a glitch in his visual system. Lauren's Lure is an atmospheric narrative first-person platformer with novel climbing mechanics and modernized retro 3D graphics. That's your elevator pitch. I think this will be a little bit less stressful for us. A nice walking sim. Make sure the other game isn't still loaded, because be playing that again. Rubeki Games! Alpha demo. Okay. It does not include controller support. Finalize graphics or graphic settings. Okay, I'll be back in just a sec, and then we're going to get into this. Sippy. Right, here we go. Rebecca. New game. Shadow don't exist, you fucking moron. I saw it in the forest on the outskirts of my home colony. And followed it into an abyss. Rebecca is my best friend. Someone middle in the game. Fucking fool. Bully. Gibble. I've been lost for 253 years. I'm sorry. Let's focus. With no guide. A place where I'm not supposed to be. I need to find it again before my energy core expires. It's all I have left. There is no going back. Should I use the robot voice?
There is no going back.
Yeah, I have that on a button now. I know it's loud, I'm sorry.
Rest to move, and move mouse to look around.
Okay, so this is like the most fucking Metroid Prime mad head camera. Oh fuck.
Press R to restart.
Okay, not my fault. It's really like the FOV is insane. And I move so fast. I don't hold control. One day I decided to jump down like a toddler and fell off the fucking edge. Like a prick. I've been here forever. Oh, I'm fine. There might be options. No. I'm just being a noob. Hold left control to slow down. Got it. Hints. Use them if you're very lost. Got it. That's nice. Nice feature. No, I like it. It's jumping down is safe as long as the floor isn't too far below. It's an interesting idea that I can see all this stuff and I'm like, oh, how do I get down there? It's a kind of exploration. I wasn't expecting such a high FOV and like such high speed. It's like Doom style platforming. Press R to restart quicker. Got it. So we're doing simulations of the environment so that our robot can make it through in one piece. Got it. Parkour! Crunchy parkour. I reset. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of surf maps in Counter-Strike. Oh. Just jumping puzzles in general. It's I like them. Although I appreciate it's not for everyone. I don't know if I'm supposed to go this way. Now I understand what the game's about. We can get through this. Whoa! I beansed it. I want to go there. Climbing picks. Oh. I can just do this now. That's cool. There's a stamina bar. Okay. Red is not climbable. That is not climbable. This is climbable. I never did the Counter-Strike ones. Did a few rocket... Hang on a minute. Rocket, conch jump maps in Team Fortress Classic though. I'm on the verge of a sneeze. You know when it keeps coming and going. There's nothing else this way. Nah. Okay, if you aim below your waist, you let go. If you aim above your waist, you jump. Didn't like that. Okay. They were like, okay, this is the end of the road, but then I was like, oh, but it's not though, because I can go here. So you can't even grab the wall if you're falling too far, it stops you. It's really a lot of cool stuff to be doing again, that this is a story. A lone robot in a megastructure in space. Philosophical musings. Yes, anything like this really that has you kind of in an environment that sort of serves its own purpose is an opportunity to tell a story that is disconnected somewhat from the manifestation that you're working through, which is a very fancy way of saying you can tell any story you goddamn please based on the circumstance, regardless of what the environment looks like. Shit, I keep pressing R instead of E and resetting. And I'm not sure where I'm going now, because I can't remember where I came from. Came from there, came down. Across here. I want to go up. No, that's where we jumped from, and then we came and got the climbing hooks from there. And then we went this way. And then we ended up here. Not what I meant to do. It seems there's an altitude meter. The H button, you're right. I did forget the H button. See, that's way up where I started. So not only did they include a H button, they made it fucking mandatory for progression. It did say when I got to that other bit that maybe I should turn back. And I guess this is what it was talking about. Ah, fuck, I pressed R again. Okay. E is stop climbing, and R, which is right next to E, is reset. It's easy to reach, at least. Just takes some getting used to. I get it. I gotta go here, right? And I can just rest. So close. Not sure what designates the wall as climbable. Sure, it's like concrete to me. It does look like concrete, and I'm assuming that concrete is the climbable material. I'm gonna suspend my disbelief because we're an android who's probably like, fuck, stop pressing R. Really strong. But I can't climb metal. That's what I'm gathering from this. I really hate that I keep pressing R. Back up to where I was. Okay, here we go. It wants me to go all the way back up. Okay. Uh-oh. How far down I can get. It's probably better to just climb down. Right, that wasn't working, but I think I see a purple thing and I'm gonna go towards it. And this is the way I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go this way until I find another platform I can scale down to. I'd hold E to slide down fast function with the clavy boys, so yeah, maybe. I already have a slight issue with the fact that it says this is an optional button, but it's also like not entirely, because the level is very open. You're not... It helps to sort of build your levels in a way that... Like, I'm all for exploration. Love it. Glad that it's being explored in the indie game category, but there's a reason we signpost things. And it's for accessibility more than anything. It's really annoying though. Sometimes we're like, we spend the entire game development cycle trying to go, how do we, you know, use the environment to build signage to kind of show where people should go and all of this stuff, and then without, you know, using just yellow cables and tarps and signs and stuff, and then in the end, no matter what you do, nobody will get it, and you end up having to put big fucking arrows in. It's just like, okay. So I guess you can't really win in that respect. Ah, stop pressing R, stop pressing R. Okay, make the restart button hold R. Not press R. Hold R for like a second. Hot tip. It's been magnetized to it. Well, it's because I'm you know, the E key, do this, but I know that I might fall, so I'm sort of constantly hovering near R in case I have to reset. That's my natural inclination, and so I end up pressing the R key because it's in virtually the same place as the E key to me. The universal signpost in the video games is bird shit. Assassin's Creed did that. The bird shit. We used it in Division, but not for signposting. We used yellow for signposting. And nobody really got that. Then there's additional problems with using a colour for signposting. Least of all, I want to say least of all, not least of all, but first of all, people with colour blindness, of which there are many, that doesn't help at all, so we need to think about other things along with colour. But also, there's the whole... If we use a colour for signposting, we immediately eliminate that colour from our potential colour palette for anything else. If we make yellow the thing that says this is a thing you can follow, or a thing you can climb, or a thing you can do, we can't have yellow anywhere else. We can't have yellow signs, we can't have yellow doors, we can't have yellow anything, because yellow means you can climb it, for example, and it's like, oh. And the more colours you do that, I pressed R again. The more colours you do that with, the more of a problem it becomes. I like the concept of this game. I think the execution, just on the kind of controls and the layout of everything could be thought of differently. There's room for improvement. You can scan things by pointing at them and holding the left click button. Okay, so I didn't know that because I got to a scannable object before I got to the tutorial scannable object. Because I was using my natural instinct to climb in a direction that I thought was the way I was supposed to go, because I saw this before I saw this. I saw that before I saw this, which meant that I tried the buttons out and I ended up pressing R again by accident. And that's why I reset. Your target reticle will turn yellow to indicate the object is scannable. Again, this is just me pointing out my experience as I'm playing the game, and you can take from that, if you see this developer, you can take from that what you will. It's like, this is how this person reacted in this scenario. Maybe we should do it this way. Unable to read log, but now I can get to this one. You make it the color for this is interactable, whatever it is, switches, levers, doors, signposting, chests. Yeah, you can do that, but again, if you make it the color, you can't really... A lot of the time you can't really have an interactable color that's the same as your climbing stuff color, because what you do then is you, and this might sound really stupid, but you gamify the thing, and it becomes very obvious that you're no longer looking at your environment, you're looking for yellow objects in everything that you do, and so that becomes a whole counter-argument to using colors. Mirror's Edge is a great example of that. But they offered you the opportunity to turn that off, which is nice, but yeah. Material analysis suggests this structure is unknown to any scientific records at Colony Baba. It is highly dense and undateable, just like me, with existing methods. It has not been observed to decompose. Also just like me. Self-deprecating humor, everyone. It's the future. See, now I'm like, okay, well I came all this way, so I want to go this way, but now that I know how this game works, I'm assuming that I just have to kind of go anywhere else. Down, maybe? I don't want to resort to just using the H key to point me in the direction. Fuck, really? That felt like a shorter drop. Oh, the jump uses a lot of stamina. Okay, now we can go down. There's something to be said for giving me the option of turning this on or off. Giving me the option to have a fully explorable game, and then also saying, well, it can be a little bit nonsensical, so here's the option. And that, I think, is a good decision, actually, for a game like this, because you give people the explorative gameplay if they want it, but then you circumvent that by providing a waymark for people that just want to get through it. I am currently in the market of people that just want to get through it because I'm playing all of these on a demo disc. So yeah, I can see that being beneficial. I think that's a decent way to go about it. Yeah, options are the best, because options give you, regardless of what reason you add your options, or for what reason you add options like this to your game, ultimately they give you accessibility options and also transient difficulty options, the ability to choose how difficult you want the game to be by changing how you play it instead of just altering soft things like, oh, enemies have more HP or whatever. It's like, okay, the exploratory element has been removed, so now it's just a case of enjoying the interactive experience instead of trying to solve the puzzle of where do I go next. Similar to how, in a way, Dark Souls offers you soft difficulty by giving you the ability to be a big, heavy super tank man with a giant shield and a giant sword and the best armor in the game, or be naked and roll everywhere at 500 miles an hour but die in one hit. It's soft difficulty. Now, I am a proponent of playing a quality build in Dark Souls on my first run through, but then after that I just do the stupid roly build and then I die 1,000 times because I just don't learn anything. I just don't know any better. But it's fun for me. Years of research have not yielded anything about the purpose of this structure. I need to scale the research network to get more data. If you're reading this, I have moved into lower levels. Pouring a drink while I was reading that. With a partner to achieve the objective. There's an engineer staying behind in order to maintain existing stations in this area, as well as communication with the home colony. Playstyle choice. People who are reliant on rolling who then try and do a tank build will die similarly. I think you're probably right, because they'll try and roll everywhere, and then they'll just die because they can't. But yeah, it's about it's one of the factors that affects the difficulty if you consider those other factors. Alright, if you don't consider those other factors, that's one of the things that allows you to choose your difficulty in that game. Which is how you get around not having difficulty options. Sekiro is the ultimate test of that, because Sekiro doesn't have builds. That's why it has such a high skill floor. It just gives you... It's like, this is the playstyle that you need to adopt, basically. And then its difficulty remains pretty static, but it can be mitigated by being clever with your use of the tools and the environments that it gives you. Whoa! Yeah, some bosses are harder to tank than others. Most bosses, by endgame anyway, are like, no matter how big your tank build is. You saw it with my my playthrough, my speed playthrough. Even though I had broken as fuck stats and armor, I could still get messed up by Gwyn. Right, I'm going to use the H button because I've been playing this game for a while and I've still got another one to get through and I have other things to play today. I would love to play this game as an exploration game. I've always been a person that really enjoys that. The Legend of Grimrock has a mode where you have to use pen and paper. Like, it basically disables all the mapping and it becomes like Etrian Odyssey, in that you have to map the dungeon yourself, but you have to do it outside of the game. And I like that exists, but not when I'm trying to get through it in like 10 minutes. I was starting to believe I'd die down here without seeing it again. Oh, wait.
But here it is.
Whenever I get a good opportunity to use that voice, it goes away. Etrian Odyssey is such a good game because that's basically the entire game. It's just like, here's a dungeon crawler, but you have to map the dungeon, and that's the gimmick. Fucking great. Any day of the week. Also, Etrian Odyssey has really amazing music, and I need to go and get some of it after this stream because there was one track in particular I'd forgotten about that I really loved. Right, cool. Well, you know, I've said everything I need to say about this game. I think it's really cool. Not so much for a sort of speed run of various demos, but if you were to focus on just this one game, I think it would be really cool to explore that. I would say make it hold R to restart, because that caught me out more times. Like, at least 10 of those restarts were accidents. But yeah, a neat idea. And it was presented nicely. They've gone for more of a crisp, modern feel with low-res textures, instead of relying on filters and warble textures and dithering and all that shit. It's alright. Alright. It seems to have kind of died on the 3DS, Etrian Odyssey. Yeah, the last one I played, I think, was Etrian Odyssey, I want to say 4 on the 3DS. Really good game. I need to go back. I want to be Monkey. No, that was the launch! Ah! You love the voice filter, though. The voice filter is a series of... What is it? It's, So I have 2 different outputs set up in Voice Meter, and I have a button set to basically unmute and mute this one and unmute the other one. And it runs through my usual setup, and then it goes into Grayon, which is a phenome and pitch shifter editor. It runs into a second instance of that also does pitch shifting for a sort of doubling effect. One of them goes through a delay, they both run into a bit crusher, and then it goes out. There's probably better ways to do it, but it's all I could come up with in 5 minutes. I was like, how do I make this go on a button? Just do this. Okay. You know what, Fem? If you want to mess with stuff like that, and there is that other one, that voice filter app that exists. It's pretty good, but like, they make you pay for all the good stuff, and otherwise there's just cycling voices out. This is a good way to do it, because it's going through something like Cantabile or any VST host that has multiple outputs. If you're using Voice Meter, you can do it that way.
And then you can sound like this.
Whenever you want, really. Anyway, Ritsu. Flashing lights. Ritsu is a story-driven... Is that the one that has the delay as well? I'm not sure. Voice mod is the one I was looking at. Ray.js is another way to get good filters going. Yeah, all the Reaper standard plugins are really, really useful. Grayon, by the way, is a free plugin. All the ones I use are free, where possible. I do have paid plugins now in my chain, but originally it was all free stuff, and all the stuff that I use for modification like that is generally free stuff, because I don't have paid versions of any of that. So Grayon and Ria Delay, which is free, and Rep Juicer, which is also free, a bit crusher. So Risu is a story-driven survival horror adventure game. Risu Ishikawa must traverse, solve, and survive a hellish architectural maze of endless personal nightmares. Sounds like Silent Hill. That's okay, because we like Silent Hill. This is the final game in this collection, everyone, and then I'll give you some final thoughts on it, and then we'll probably have an hour left to play Graffiti Kingdom.
KFC Murder Chicks
was on the credits. That's delightful. That reminds me of a thing that I developed called, a methodology I developed called the KFC Reflecting Pool, which is a methodology I had envisioned to allow me to approach new and unknown challenges, mainly work tasks where I had no information and I needed a starting point. I developed a methodology by which I could go through things, and I called it the KFC Reflecting Pool. It actually stands for Knowledge for Completion. Not Kentucky Fried Chicken, but I called it that because it was memorable. Pop. Buttons, interact, inventory, run. Let's do it. If you're offering me control buttons, I'm using them. Oh, have you guys seen the fucking Zelda shit for the Switch? The new amiibo and the controllers for Skyward Sword. They are very pretty and extortionately expensive. The amiibo's really nice though. It's Skyward Sword Zelda with one of the birds. And the controllers are like Master Sword coloured. It's the only way you can fast travel. They added fast travel functionality to the amiibo, which is fucking bullshit. That's stupid. Doesn't it basically improve the Joy-Con as well? Or in some way? I'd read that it actually adds a feature that should be in there all anyway, other than that. Anyway. Wow. This is new. Spin! Is this Peach Girl? Yo, this lady thick. I don't mean that in like a sexual way, I'm just saying. She's like 2/3 lower half. Big legs. She's got a big fucking leg! VHS style ones, I adore these. You know what? She looks like she's been censored from the frame. Like, the pixelation on the character is really strong compared to the background. Maybe that's on purpose. She's reverse Garnet. Hold button, open door, like it. Okay. Hold button for everything, not sure about that. Drain cleaner. Delicious. Don't eat drain cleaner, millennials. Be happy with your avocado and toast. But stop buying it because you'll never be able to afford a house. I just like hit like 4 memes in one phrase. I like this. I like this a lot actually. I like the camera. Oh, look at that. It's like Dutch angle. Wow. It's quite candid. That avocado toast house thing is deranged. It comes from a person who has never experienced poverty. It must. These are some taut wires. Bunny backpack. What is it about, like, schools? Particularly the layout of schools that we see, like, in Japanese games? They're so clinical. But there's something about them, the kind of... I guess the clinical layout and the old... sort of time-worn decor that comes from, like, wartime or something. There's something about that combination that makes them pretty spooky. 3D Corpse Party kind of vibe. Ah, and boy do I enjoy some Corpse Party. Tran Lee, who we raided a couple times, he plays a lot of Corpse Party games, and he's kind of inspiring me to want to get back to them. I've never streamed one. Maybe Halloween could be Corpse Party. What do you reckon? I was going to do Resi 7, but maybe in addition to that. Umbrellas? More like Yumbrellas. I gotta get it together. Yes, you fucking do, lady, because that was... You made Bocce cry. Clinical. Seems the same reason hospitals are scary. Yeah, I don't know about hospitals, man. There's something weird about hospitals that makes my brain not work. And I don't know what it is. I think it's the smell. But I feel like I lose my ability to concentrate when I'm in a hospital. The flusher doesn't work. It's full of shit. Disgusting. It's impersonal and inhuman. That's true. Reducing all of our well-being down to clipboards and acetone. Something like that. Why are the loos in these games always grody and broken? Have you ever... I don't know what it's like in the women's, but that's what all men's toilets look like. Every men's toilet. In a public area, looks like that. More or less. I don't need one. The umbrella. My old friend the void. Oh. I hear if you stare into it, it stares back at you. And then maybe you'll start to love each other. In a bar or gas station, those are the worst. No, the worst toilets I've ever seen were Leicester Square. Around Christmas. In any building that had a public toilet. The McDonald's in Leicester Square, bad time. Unusable. Festival status. Everyone thinks the women's are clean and orderly, but they always have busted seats, paper on the ceiling, they smell so bad, and they always have God knows what caked around the taps. Yeah, I'm aware of this kind of idea that all the women's must be better than the men's, but like, no, I think we're as bad as each other. There are just people out there that, like, I don't know, they seem to have no decorum when it comes to not wiping shit on the roof. Scissors, my favourite. Okay, this is legitimately one of the best looking games, actually. I will say that, so I said it earlier, the character is blurred out probably more than they should be, but that might be a stylistic choice. I'm not sure. However, the rest of the presentation is really good. This is a really... this is a good environment. This room, it's got a limited number of props, but they're using them really well to create interesting variety. That's a believable space. And this is exactly what I would go for in one of my rooms when I was making like the Division. I'd skew a bunch of desks, and we have metrics where we'd make this room like 3 times as big, whatever, but in terms of the prop density, the believability, readability of the space, it tells enough of a story without needing too much extra. It looks really good. Yeah, they've done a good job on that. Good job. I have to somehow mouse out. How do I do that? I missed some chat and I have to scroll up. You go into a public access toilet and go, well, time to hurricane some of this here piss up the wall. Oh, there we go. Worth it. There should be a premium toilet and you only get to go there if you have a card. And you get the card by default, but once you fuck up a toilet, they take the card away. The trouble with toilets is you can never tell who's fucked it up. Someone goes on taught that some things don't flush. It's a bad time. Oh, I see. So, here's the thing. Like, we used to get... Ouch, it's too cold to touch. We used to get, like, you get emails going around, right? It's like, who's pissed on the seat? Flush your stuff, you know? Someone will get mad in the office, and then that email will go around. And no matter how many times you send it, it keeps happening. And you know it's just one person that does that shit. right? And for some reason, I guess they get a fucking kick out of it. Or something. For some reason, they can't bring themselves to fix it. And that's what it is with public toilets. There are people out there that are just like, I'm just gonna piss on the wall, no one will care. No, you don't care because you don't have to fucking clean it up. My phone. There are newer models, but I like this one. Drain cleaner, magnet, scissors. Wait. Okay. This is a long shot. I hope this is strong enough. Pour drain cleaner on shit. Hey, now the shit's covered in drain cleaner. It worked. The shit's all dissolved. But now that thing went down the pipe. Okay, so something is in this toilet that I need to get using the magnet, but I need to attach the magnet to something to get it. Like an umbrella? Shit, I dropped the scissors inside. At least I got one wire. Okay, that's a good way to get rid of the item, I guess. They're made of copper. Is copper... Copper's not magnetic. So yes, you're good. Combine magnet with phone. You wipe your phone's memory. No! Attach floppy disk to fridge with magnet. Ah, a fresh key from the sewage pipe. I'm just gonna leave my magnet contraption here. Yeah, why don't we wash that key? It's covered in poop. Someone pooped a key. Fresh. Someone's got to be doing it on purpose. That is true. Like, everyone has that story, right? We used to have a glove. Like, we had an oven glove that was like a full arm-length glove just in case something went horribly wrong in the plumbing and you had to get your arm down there. It was a good thing to have. I would... Because we had like a toilet that was the weakest fucking toilet ever and I lived in a house with 5 people. This game's making me think about poop. I should be thinking about game. It good. The controls are good. It's fluid. I like the way it controls. The atmosphere is nice. I already spoke about the environment. I think this is great. Can I use this? There has to be a door that I can use this on. Fresh. Wait, the void is gone. Where'd the light go? I can't use this item here. It's hard not to talk about where there's turlet everywhere. One has poopy in it. The main character has a dump truck ale. Dumps like a truck. Sounds like a truck. Probably a truck. Let me sing it again! You know the one. All night long. That's a different song. All night. No, this one was let me see that thong. That thong. I want to see a booty go. I love it when you booty go. You know that one. So you know you can't. After all that, what happened? Probably a check. Yeah, it's been a while since Cisco has been a thing I was thinking about, and then I instantly thought of Benjamin Sisko as well. It's like, oh, he wrote that song. Captain's log. Stardate 55398 point. Fuck. Wrote a new song today. It's about thongs. It's called the Thong Song. Couldn't think of a good name. Guy's like, what? I'm singing again! I don't know what I'm doing. Where am I going? CSGO. Sounds like your boy Benny CSGO. Yeah, black guy, $1,500 knife. I found it in sell it on Steam store. Knife fight, bro, please. You and me, suck a bullet, bro. Oh my god, what am I doing? Oh my. Bruh. I'm singing again. Dumps like truck. Probably fuck. It's weird, like it doesn't let me use the key in this store. Okay, dump truck, let's go. Let's find out where we can use this key. This door? Oh, it works here. No, it doesn't work. Must be the wrong door. Okay, let's try the other door. Just like the fucking no, please! Blood! Jibble! Doesn't work. Must be the wrong door. Guys like blood. Grandma's babushka's go butt. Bruh. Is it stupid when you've checked like literally everything inside the game except for one pixel in a corner you happen to bypass? No, that's Limbo the Last. Look, I got close enough to the door that it key worked. That was my fault. I could have gone closer, but also make that a little bit bigger, or make it so that when you press A on the door, it goes, "I could unlock this door," and then it takes you to the menu and you can use your key. That's a good idea. Another game did that, and it was really good. Blue orb, blorb, if you will. It has no temperature. I'm going to assume that I have to use this blorb on the mystical goo. Onward and upward. Oh shit, it's the gym. The gym hole is the scariest place! I really want to watch a J-horror movie right now. I've been thinking about it this week. I was thinking about the film One Missed Call, but it's been such a long time, and I really want to watch one. J-horror. Doesn't that just mean it's room or body temperature? No, it means it has no temperature. So, yeah, I guess it must be the exact identical temperature to what you're holding so that you don't register it, right? That's the only way that could happen. Because it can't have 0. Like, 0 is not... 0 is just freezing. The lowest possible temperature is minus 271 Celsius, I want to say. 0 Kelvin. This is where the pedophile teacher was killed. He haunts us now. Please no. Oh, hey, Satan. It's a Hans boss, like from Zelda! What the fuck? What's going on? Speed! What the fuck is going on? Why am I having to deal with this shit? I'm just a schoolgirl from a poor family. You see it, easy come, easy go. This is a fucking jam. This is like Mad Capsule Markets, but like angrier. I'm into it. This is fucking cool. Alright. KFC Murder Chicks. Look them up. I'm gonna look them up. It was great. Okay, well that was an abrupt ending to the demo, but I really like the presentation again on that one. I know I say that word a lot, but it really is all about presentation. Really fucking cool. And so that we get a bit of a time to play Graffiti Kingdom, I'm going to keep this short and sweet, but sounds a bit like Crystal Castles. It does. I'm going to give some very brief final thoughts. First of all, that was awesome. Really like that. Wasn't KFC Murder Suits part of some weird twisty turny and internet mystery that was secretly viral marketing? I don't know. But if you find anything about it, I'd be interested to know about it. Let's have a look. So Risu, that was cool. I would play that. That was really, really cool. Fiend's Isle was great. That was like classic Kingsfield style dungeon crawler. Lauren's was okay, you know, it's fine. That was the climby one. I'm gonna mainly focus on games that I would want to play personally. Now, I'm not gonna go through all of them, actually, because like things like Lauren's Lure, for example, I think it's got a lot of potential, but it's not something that I would probably pick up and play start to finish. But thinking of all these of demos, if I was to go through and think about the ones that I love the most, I like Fiend's Isle. Don't know if I'd play it too much. It'd be a good for laugh. And that's just testament to the fact that while it is very cool, it's like Kingsfield, and Kingsfield has very limited play time for me. Loveland's an interesting mystery, for sure. Risu, very, very cool. Like that one a lot. Lunar Effect, that one was also cool. That was the mansion one that I liked. Let's move down to 2F. Also, most of this floor is pretty good, yeah. And also, that's interesting that you mentioned most of this floor, because I want to say as well, for anyone that hasn't seen any of these previously, these are... This has 25 demos on it, and it's random where they're placed. It's not like they put, oh, the best games go on the top floor. They don't do that. They wanted it to be fair for everyone, so they just made it random. And that's cool. So... The Chameleon. Which one was this? This is the one where you punch people into fucking space. That was really cool for a stealth game. I think I could probably play that through when that came out. Echo Stasis I loved because it was about rampant AI, and that's got me all over it. I'm into that shit. That's a definite yes for me. Johnny Machine again, that was one we played today. That was the Suicide one. Let's see. I didn't love it. Mummy. This one was really cool. Mummy Sandbox. Like, weirdly, it gave me like super odd Amiga game vibes in a way that I really liked. It was like, here's weird game with odd concept that's oddly enthralling. Walk, I loved it. I wish I'd gotten past that point that I got stuck at, and I kind of want to do it again at some point, but I'll wait till the full game, because I've seen that there is more beyond it, and it has legs. It does. You found it, I'll DM you. Nice. That was another Silent Hill-esque Still Ridge. I don't think it was the one that I loved, though. I'm gonna go down a floor. Peeb. Honorary mention, Peeb, for being on the haunted PS1 for some reason. It was nuts. It's stupid. Great. Wonderful. Tori 3D was cool. There's like a platformer with a dark edge. This one, special mention, Agony of a Dying MMO, because we talked about this one in length when we played it, and it was like, it needs to nail its tone down for it to be really good. It could be amazing, but the tone is all over the place, and I don't really know what it's doing. Chasing Static is I think that's the one that was based in Wales, the best presented game by far, I think. That is really good looking game. Really cool. Pathogen X, this is the roguelite Resident Evil-esque game by... who was it by again? It was the guy that made Soda Raptor, the guy that made Hypnagogia, I think? Hypnagogia. So yeah, plenty of great games in this collection. Found it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you, Pastry. It was just odd that like the kind of, well, we already spoke about it. I won't go into it, but it was just an odd tonality, and it needed to be nailed down for that to be more than it is. But yeah, this has been the Haunted PS1 collection 2021, and it has been so much more than I thought it would be that it's taken me weeks to get through it all, and there's some really interesting and good stuff being made here, and I just, even if it's stuff that I don't personally like, I wish them all the best in getting their projects finished. I hope they do. It's always good to see new games come out, and some of these I really hope I can remember and come back to around Halloween time. Cool. I'm gonna go and set up for Graffiti Kingdom, which will just be a short while.